Hello guys, this is Rohan Rajveer Bagh from the PDCS Club GIET University. I'm the founder of the PDCS Club. So today we'll discuss about the topic of National Education Policy or the New Education Policy 2020 and why it is important, what are the features what are the features are there in that one, and what are the curriculum need to be followed, what are the things need to be carried out in entire new education policy 2020. We'll be discussing that one. Okay, so let's start with that. So the new education policy or the national education policy 2020, first we'll discuss about the evolution of that one. So how it has been evoluted from the past days or the past years, how it has been carried out. We'll be learning that one, right? So the first thing is that the evolution has been carried out with the education policy in the 1968. In the year of 1968, it has been carried out for the first time during the period of the Indira Gandhi. Okay, then the education policy has been carried out by 1986. ये बहुत easy है, like याद रखना 1968 1986. Okay, so during the period of Indira Gandhi and during the period of Rajiv Gandhi. So then some amendments has been carried out. बहुत सारे कुछ amendments किया गया. Then we have carried out with the new education policy 2020 during the period of Narendra Modi. Okay, so why it is important? Because the education policy has been carried out after 34 years. So you will be getting the benefit of discussing this topic is that you will be getting lots of questions from this one. So that will be helpful for you in the competitive exam or in the GD, like where you are carrying out any kind of discussions, group discussions and all. So this all of the things will be very the things what we'll be discussing today will be very important and will be helpful for you in the near future for the essay writing and different kinds of stuff. Okay, so let's start with that one. So that is the only reason it has been very important, because it has been carried out after 34 years. 34 years के बाद ये इसको लाया गया after some of the amendments has been carried out past years. Okay, so the most important thing is that the TSR Subramaniam committee has been formed. TSR Subramaniam committee has been formed in the 2016, right? The some of the this report has been carried out from that committee. Then finally in 2019, Dr. K. Kasturi Ranjan committee report has been carried out. Okay, this is very important, guys. So Dr. K. Kasturi Ranjan is a former ISRO scientist, right? So they under his chairmanship the report has been carried out, this committee report has been carried out, and that the report of the TSR Subramaniam and Dr. K. Kasturi Ranjan report has been carried out jointly, and new education policy 2020 has been created, right? So that is the thing, that is the history part of the new education policy 2020. Okay, so now the features are the reduction in the curriculum. Okay, so they're following the core essentials part, right? The curriculum in all the subjects to be reduced to its core essentials. So the focusing on the core essentials part are very important, right? All of the this curriculum will be focused in the core essential part, मतलब main part में focus किया जाएगा. Okay, so then critical thinking, the focus on the critical thinking, that is inquiry, discovery, discussions, analysis based teaching, learning methods for holistic education. So इसमें क्या किया जाएगा? इंक्वायरी होगा, बहुत सारे इंक्वायरीज होंगे, रिसर्च होंगे, एनालिसिस होंगे, डिस्कवरीज होंगे, right? Discussions होंगे. So this kind of it's a kind of critical thinking. It's a kind of more into the kind of case study based, more into the practical thinking, more into practical based, where you can involve lots of things, discussions, discoveries, and lots of things will be involved into the learning process, right? So that is the most important stuff. Next is the interactive classes. As you know, these interactive classes are very important in today's education. There would be the interactive sessions would be there. There will be having different kinds of the classroom teaching or any kind of teaching would be carrying out with the interactive sessions, should be there. Like it will be a kind of teaching, teaching with the interactive way, like the teachers and the students interaction, because interaction gives us lots of teaching itself. It's a best learning process what we can get from the interacting with others, right? So we'll be getting that one. So interactive learning with reduced dependency on the textbook. ऐसे नहीं होगा कि जैसे होता है लाइक टीचर्स आए बुक ऐसे खोले और उनका धर धर पढ़ाना शुरू, वैसे नहीं होने वाला, राइट? So it will be an interactive learning process. Okay, learning questions from students will be promoted, like the questions what we'll be getting from the students, that will be discussed among the classes, and that would be carrying lots of importance, because the discussions makes any of the answers to be redefined or refined or refiltered, and we'll be getting the very core essential part of the subject, right? Next, experiential learning, that is the most important one. The fun factor should be there. Fun factor will be there in that one. Creative methods are there for the teaching, like बहुत सारे creative methods होंगे. आप for example अगर viscosity समझना है तो liquids को practically मतलब the liquids, oil and different kinds of fluids would be there, जिसको हम लोग practically दिखा सकते हैं. The kinematics what we can carry out, like these kind of things, like chemical reactions what we can show to the things, like we can involve technology in that one. So that will be a creative method of teaching. Collaborative, there will be a collaborative explanatory activities in the classroom for experiential learning and deeper student, right? So for the students, there would be having the different kinds of environments will be building up to carry out this kind of learning process, and where he or she will be getting a very good environment of teaching, where the practical methods are being followed, or practicality has been carried out, some experiential has been carried out, will be carried out for that one, right? So that is these are the some of the points has been carried out in this new education policy 2020, right? So next is that what we'll be learning is the fundamental principles of the policy. What are the fundamental principles are involved in the new education policy 2020? So the first thing is that the recognizing, identifying and fostering the unique capabilities of each student, sensitizing teacher and parents to promote each subjects in the holistic development. अब ये है कि the students are getting freedom to choose their own subjects, like identifying that one, and the students are getting we'll be knowing the unique capabilities of the students to carry out what they have to follow and what they have to do, right? So this is the things. Now अभी इसमें questioning एक आता है कि what are the how the measures has been carried out, what are the measuring principles has been carried out to know the unique capabilities of the student, ठीक है? मोस्ट प्रोबेबली फैमिली के साथ डिपेंडेंसी ये होगा कि फैमिली से पता चलेगा कि यूनिक कैपेबिलिटीज स्टूडेंट्स लोगों का क्या है, या तो क्लासरूम से पता लगेगा, या तो फ्रेंड से पता लगेगा. कहाँ से वो पता लगेगा कि यूनिक कैपेबिलिटीज ऑफ दैट स्टूडेंट क्या है, क्या, right? So that is the most important stuff. Next, highest priority to achieving foundation literacy and the numeracy. Like फाउंडेशन जो एजुकेशन रहता है, फाउंडेशन टीचिंग रहता है, या तो फाउंडेशन हम लोग का जो लिटरेसी रहता है, दैट इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट एंड एसेंशियल पार्ट ऑफ दैट वन. सो वो फाउंडेशन वाला क्लियर रहेगा, फाउंडेशन वाला विल बी अचीविंग दैट वन. नेक्स्ट इज द न्यूमरेसी. सबके पास बेसिक न्यूमरेसी का नॉलेज रहेगा, विल बी गेटिंग द बेसिक न्यूमरेसी नॉलेज एंड बेसिक एजुकेशन, like foundation education. Okay, so flexibility for learners to choose their learning trajectories and programs and choosing own path according to their talent and interest. यहाँ पे है कि स्टूडेंट्स को खुद फ्रीडम है कि हाउ दे व्हाट दे हैव टू चूज. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आज बायोलॉजी अच्छा नहीं लगा कि अच्छा नहीं से हो रहा है, देन दे कैन चूज डाउन टू द कॉमर्स, और दे कैन चूज डाउन टू द बेसिक ह्यूमैनिटीज, और दे कैन मूव डाउन टू द कंप्यूटर साइंस, लाइक दैट वन. ओके, इसमें एक क्वेश्चन है कि हम लोग अगर स्टूडेंट्स लोगों को ये फ्रीडम दे रहे हैं then are they capable of deciding what they have to do? Are they capable, are they mature enough to choose their own trajectory paths, choose their own interests? This is the biggest question, right? In what way they have to, because lots of psychological process has been carried out, psychological factors is involved रहता है इस चीज को decide करने के लिए. So that is the most important question, right? So that is the most important question, that how they have to choose that one. So that is the thing. तो ट्रैजेक्टरी पाथ जो होता है, ट्रैजेक्टरी पाथ का ये मतलब नहीं कि आज बायोलॉजी में रहे कल कॉमर्स में चले गए, ऐसे नहीं है. ट्रैजेक्टरी पाथ मीन्स व्हाट दे हैव द इंटरेस्ट, वो इंटरेस्ट के हिसाब से उनका एजुकेशन सिस्टम या तो एजुकेशन लाइन जो होता है उसको स्ट्रीमलाइन करना. दैट इज व्हाट कॉल्ड द ट्रैजेक्टरी पाथ. लाइक अकॉर्डिंग टू द their own interest, they have to they would be carrying out the trajectory. Like for example, अगर आपको engineer बनना है, then you will be following the like science, then science with the mathematics and all total things, then basic science would be carrying out, then basic science would then the BTech or the bachelor of engineering. Like this, it will be having a trajectory path. What kind of things, like computer science में अगर करना है, then coding will be carrying out from the primary education, right? So coding will be carried out with the primary education. Like this, we can follow that one, right? So according to the interest of the student, the trajectory path will be choosing out, right? अब ये है कि freedom अगर आप बच्चे लोगों को दे देते हो तो क्या होगा? Like students will be carrying out the freedom. Like for example, किसी को सांप पकड़ने में इंटरेस्ट अगर है तो ऐसे भी हो सकता है कि सांप पकड़ने में इंटरेस्ट है, किसी को कुछ और करने में इंटरेस्ट है, तो पता चला फ्रीडम. तो सो इन how this would be like how this will be followed in Indian culture, that is the biggest question, the challenge, right? So no hard separation between arts, sciences and eliminating the harmful divisions. Like arts और science का कुछ ऐसे अभी like there is a stereotype thinking or there is a divisions हो जाते हैं. स्कूल्स में भी डिविजन्स होते हैं या तो कॉलेजेस में भी डिविजन्स होते हैं. लाइक आर्ट्स वाले अलग, साइंस वाले अलग, कॉमर्स वाले अलग, लाइक दिस काइंड ऑफ स्टफ. सो नाउ दिस डिविजन शुड नॉट बी कैरिड आउट. देयर वुड नॉट बी हैविंग a hard separation between this arts and science and the commerce and all. So each and every individual would be carrying out a very basic level of kind of education. Okay, so multidisciplinary education, multidisciplinary education would be carrying out with a different kinds of thing. The people will be carrying out with a different the students would be carrying out with the multidisciplinary systems. Like they would be exposed to the management, they would be exposed to the research and activities. Research and activities they would be carrying out with the different analysis. Like this multidisciplinary will be carrying out. Like बहुत सारे लोगों को मिला के, बहुत सारे streams को मिला के multidisciplinary systems would be carrying out. So this kind of education would be helpful for them to know different kinds of things, rather than knowing only the single thing. They would be knowing the different kinds of stuff, right? Next is conceptual understanding. Concept के ऊपर ध्यान दिया जाएगा. Like learning out the basic level of things. Okay, why this has been happened, what is the reason of this happening, like this kind of thing. Next is the critical thinking. I've already made you understand what do you mean by critical thinking and all. Like how they have to develop, like how they have to develop, how they have to carry out the the education process. Like the inquiry has been carried out, the discovery has been carried out, different kinds of discussions, like analysis based has been carried out in the education system. Okay. Next is ethic, human and constitutional values to be maintained. Ethics, human values and the constitutional values to be maintained. Like equality maintain किया जाएगा, genders equality maintain किया जाएगा, equitable education दिया जाएगा, equity education होगा, like all of the accessible education होगा. Right, so ethics and human values will be considered, and the constitutional values will be considered in the education system. We know it's very difficult, it's a very challenging situation, but yes, आज 2 साल या तो 3 साल या तो 5 साल या तो 10 साल या तो 15 साल या तो 20 साल के बाद होगा ही होगा. So that is the start. This is the start from today, from this era, will be starting the things, and some of the part at some point of time will be seeing the changing. Okay. Next, promoting multilingualism. Multilingualism means multiple languages will be followed. Like there would be having different kinds of multilingual methods would be there. They should know the cultural languages. They should know their mother tongue. They should know the different kinds of languages should be there. Multilingualism will be helping to know different kinds of culture, and different kinds of sensitivity would be generated among the students, and they would be rather facing out the divisibility, they would be reunited, they would be united again with that language part, right? They will not be facing any kind of differentiability on the point of the languages. Right. So life skills such as the communication, cooperation, and the teamwork would be focused. As you know, the life skills is very important. Life skills बहुत important होते हैं. Like any kind of organization, it will be moving down, or any kind of part. When you grow up, or when you start down the basic things, the communication is very important. Right, that is what we are carrying out in the PDCS club. So the communication is very important, because to connect with the people, we need that communication skills. Right. Next is this cooperation, the teamwork, how they have to carry out, what the role have to play as a team player. Right. So these are the basic things what we need to carry out. Right. These are the life skills. These are actually we learn from the platforms. We learn from the involving ourselves in different kinds of activities, where we will be exposing ourselves to the different kinds of people. We start respecting respecting the differential qualities among the people. Right, so that is the basic important, that is the basic skills what we need to learn actually in the education part. So the education is not only constrained towards only the bookish kind of thing. The education is more towards the life skills, how we treat people, how we have to discuss what are the sensitivity, what is the emotional intelligence of ours. So that is the most important thing, right? Next, focus on the regular formative assessment. Okay, so basic assessment would be carrying out assessment, different kinds of assessment procedures would be carrying out to know how the knowledge has been carried out, what kind of more guidance to be needed to the students, right? So assessment would be carrying out in that way. Next, extensive use of technology in teaching and learning process. ऐसे क्या होता है in this education system, we need the technology to be there. Technology should be there in our education process, right? जैसे कि for example, to know the importance of the subject, we need to visualize the subject, right? एक तो होता है एजुकेशन, एक तो होता है कि हम लोग आए डेफिनेशन पढ़ दिए, बाकी हम लोग मन में ही सोचते हैं कि ऐसे ऐसे ये होगा, और एक तो है कि हम लोग दिखाते हैं कि ये ऐसे है. लाइक दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स इज बीइंग कैरिड आउट, ऐसे ये होता है, राइट? फॉर एग्जांपल मार्स का कुछ हुआ तो रोवर हुआ तो मार्स ऑर्बिटर हुआ, रोवर हुआ, ये सारा कुछ दिखाएंगे, और इट होता है कि डेफिनेशन वाइज करना. सो प्रोबेबली थ्रू द डेफिनेशन वाइज विल नॉट बी द नॉलेज विल नॉट पेनिट्रेट दैट मच इन आवर माइंड, रादर टू शोइंग इन द प्रैक्टिकल थिंग्स or in the visualized manner, we can develop more sense of understanding. So that is the most important. That is in this more sense of understanding part mein technology will play a very important role, right? So that is how the technology will play an important role in the education and learning process, right? So respect for the diversity and respect for the local context in our curriculum. जैसे कि diversity होगा, local context hoga, will be learning the mother tongue language, will be learning the local language, we'll be learning the local culture of that one. So in this way we'll be protecting the local, we'll be protecting the cultural values of our nations, as well as the people will be knowing the knowledge, people will be having the knowledge about the local context of that area, of the things of the place will be carrying out with that one. So that is very important to carry out with the curriculum. Next, the full equity and inclusion reach to all students. Right, I've already told, will be this national education policy will be following the equity and the inclusion process. Equity means education for all, regardless of the caste, creed, this money, these all of the things will be carrying out. Inclusion will be there, like girls education will be carried out, transgenders education will be carrying out. Like education should be available to all, right? So that is what called the equity and the inclusion process. Like education process mein sabka involvement hoga, there will be involvement of the parents, there will be involvement of the fraternity or the students, there would be involvement of involvement of the friends, there will be involvement of the teachers, there will be involvement of the guides, like this one, involvement of the corporates, right? Involvement of the industries, involvement of the skill based things, involvement of the scientists, like these, all of the involvement process will make this education system to be very rich, right? Next, synergy in curriculum across all levels of the education, child care to the school education to the higher education. एक synergy होगा, मतलब जो child care education में वो जो follow किया रहेगा, what will be following in the child care education, that synergy would be continuing further. Like from the child care education will be carrying out with the secondary education or the school education, the school education to higher education. मतलब जो segregation process child education में, मतलब child care education में होगा, वही same segregation process higher education में नहीं होना चाहिए. Like that will, the same synergy or the same bandwidth or same same kind of things should be carried out in the thorough process, so that one student would be after completing down the education, one student will be thorough in one process, right? So that is the most important stuff. Next, teacher and faculty as heart of the learning process. It's always there. Teacher and faculties are the most important part, because they are the pillar of the, they are the backbone of this entire country. They are the pillars. If the backbone, the youth are the backbones, or the youth are the backbones or the futures of this country, then the youth, these future makers, are the teachers and the faculties, because teachers and the faculties are the are those people, those who actually make this backbone strong of this nation, right? They are the future makers of this nation, so they are the heart of the learning process, right? Integrity, transparency and resource efficiency of the education system. Okay, integrity रखा जाएगा education system में, integrity would be there, would be following the integrate policies, will be following the constitutional values, will be following the human values, will be following different kinds of rules and regulations, guidelines would be carrying out. Transparency will be there in the education process. The transparency is very much important to know to gain the confidence of the students, or the students will be gaining the confidence through the transparency process itself. Resource efficiency रहेगा, those resources are involved into the education process, that would be a very important one. So these all of the things would be carrying out in the educational system with the regulatory framework. The framework would be there, the guidelines will be there, that guidelines will be following in that education policy. Next, outstanding research would be carrying out. Research होगा तो तभी जाके हम लोग को नया चीज पढ़ने को मिलेगा. The नया thing would be getting the new things, innovative things would be carrying out. Will be learning something different, out of the box things will be carrying out with the outstanding research. Continuous review of progress based on the assessment by the educational experts. Like review, continuous review would be there. Continuous review of our knowledge would be there. The assessment will be carried out, so that the students will not be left out the gap of that assessment. Like the students will be knowing in what field he or she is lacking behind, and what are the things he is excelling, So in that where he or she is lacking behind, the more focus should be carried out. इसमें ये focus देना है, students को भी देना पड़ेगा, guides को भी देना पड़ेगा, teachers and faculties also will be carry out that focus. So assessment and the review should be carried out and it's a very essential part of the education system to know the loopholes, know the gaps has been created in that in the knowledge process or the education process, right? So rootedness and the pride in India, the modern culture and the knowledge systems and the traditions, like we'll be learning the traditional systems also, we'll be learning the traditional culture also, we'll be having the traditional knowledge. जैसे कि ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज इज वेरी मच इम्पॉर्टेंट. जैसे कि आप लोग सुने होंगे न्यूज में बहुत सारे द एग्रीकल्चर प्रोसेस हैज बीन कैरिड आउट विद द ट्रेडिशनल प्रोसेस, लाइक द रूट ऑफ द प्राइड ऑफ द इंडिया, द कल्चर ऑफ द इंडिया to be emphasized in this education process, so that this education, these traditional cultures to be refined or to be redefined in this today's era, and we can utilize those traditional process in a better one to be kind of better things, right? So that is the things, traditional knowledge, traditional cultures, these are very important. These are the roots of the pride of the India, and these roots to be carried out in the present scenario. Okay, so education as a public service, right to education to every child, we have already covered that one, the equity and the inclusion of this one. Substantial investment in the strong vibrant education system, investment hoga, will be carrying out lots of investment, lots of funding process would be there. Investment hoga tab jaake modern education system, the equipments of the modern education system we can gain, and those equipments will be helpful for us to know on the research and the analysis part of the education, and that will help out to gain more knowledge, right? So from 10+2 जो education system जो था वो 10+2 को convert करके 5+3+4 किया गया. So 5 would be kind of foundational kind of thing. So foundational like level. The foundational level is like a kind of play school and the class 1 and class 2. So foundational level will be carrying out with the 5 years. Then the preparatory would be carrying out with the 3 years again. That is the class 3 to class 5. Then the middle will be carrying out with the 6 to 8, class 6 to class 8. Then the 4 years will be carrying out with the 9 to 12. So why this kind of segregation? पहले क्या होता था 10+2 वाला education system में problem ये होता था कि this entire 10 years would be carrying out with the like सीखे कि नहीं. The problem in the part is the like this is a very large, the assessment, the curriculum changes, like all of the things would be not 10 years would be carrying out at the stretch, would be carrying out with the this stretch of 10 years would be carrying out very long span, and we fall towards the gap, we fall towards the like loopholes would be there. But when the 5+3+3+4 would be carrying out, then definitely the 5 years would be having certain objectives, 3 years would be certain objectives, and 3 years would be again with the certain objectives, and those small objectives would be carrying out further to accomplish the very big objective or the large objective. Okay, so multi-stream would be carrying out, multiple stream हो सकता है, like आप किसी भी stream में जा सकते हो, like चाहे वो science हो, commerce हो, humanities हो या कोई भी हो. So like diluted board exams to test only the core competencies. Board में थोड़ा dilution होगा, 10th या 12th board में थोड़ा dilution होगा, and those board would be checking only the core competencies of our subject or the knowledge. Multilingual होगा, I've already told you multilingual. Backless days होंगे, backless days means 10 backless days in a year to focus in the vocation. Like there would be having the 10 bagless, मतलब bag, ये तो ऐसे ही हो गया, हम लोग इतना सब कुछ लेके जाते थे बैग वैग उठा के. So there would be having 10 bagless days where the students will be exposed into the vocation kind of stuff, right? So that is the thing. So these are all of the things has been carried out with the National Education Policy 2020. Next is the SAT-like college test will be carrying out with the National Testing Agency. Common college examinations should be carrying out twice a year. Okay, so self-assessment test होगा, college test जो होगा self-assessment test होगा, SAT होगा, National Testing Agency 2 बार करेंगे college exam. Okay, so 4 year bachelor learning process, that would be a multidisciplinary would be carrying out जैसे कि multiple discipline में हम लोग कर सकते हैं. 4 year bachelor's program would be there. No affiliation or the colleges will not be dependent on the affiliation. They will be having an autonomous would be there. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ऑटोनोमस दिया जाएगा यूनिवर्सिटीज को, कॉलेजेस को, सो दैट दे कैन फॉलो देयर ओन एजुकेशन सिस्टम एंड टू accomplish the objective according to their availability of the resources and the availability of the resources and the efficiency of the resources. Accordingly they would be accomplish the objective of the National Education Policy 2020. राइट. फ्री कैप का मतलब ये है कि प्राइवेट कॉलेजेस, जनरली प्राइवेट कॉलेजेस का बहुत फीस होता है, वो थोड़ा कम किया जाएगा. Private colleges would be carrying out the low fees, so that these private colleges also students can participate, students can go for the admission. They will be having equitable education system, education system would be there, where not only rich students, rich parents, children will be carrying out the studies, rather all of these, like the poor children's, the poor backgrounds or the marginalized background students can also go for the admissions. So going global means a global plus local, something around 100 like international universities were allowed for setting up the campuses in India would be carrying out. Special education zone in disadvantaged regions, special education zone बनाया जाएगा for the, if the marginalized society, marginalized people will be there, then will be having the creation of the special education zone in disadvantaged regions will be there, so that they can focus on the education or the literacy rate, education rate of the people over there, whether it is the students or different kinds of people, children's. So they will be having a special education zone to look after the things in a very very better way. So gender inclusion fund create किया जाएगा, different funds will be created where the different genders would be carrying out the education process. They will be participating in the education process. The girls and the transgenders, each and every one, the girls and transgenders will be more important. So they will also carry out the education. They should also get the education. They will be always they will be participating in the education process also. So availability and the capacity development of the teachers, मतलब ये होगा कि उनका availability, teachers का availability check करना, क्योंकि ये बहुत problem situation होता है जहाँ पे स्कूल से होते हैं, टीचर्स नहीं होते हैं, बच्चे लोग जाते हैं वहाँ पे खेल कूद के आते हैं. So that should not be happen. उनका कैपेसिटी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम्स किए जाएंगे. There will be having different kinds of education programs where they would be learning how to go for the teaching methodologies, different kinds of psychological methodologies to know the students' mentalities, know the students' psychologies, how to handle the classrooms, the classroom management, the syllabus maintenance, and all of the things would be carrying out with that one. Right. So there will be having the 4 years of very easy kind of things where there will be having a freedom. We can leave behind these 4 years bachelor programs in between also. मतलब हम लोग जो UG program will be carrying out either with the 3 years or the 4 years. Like the first year will be having a basic certificate of that one, the completion of the basic education process, the first year of the bachelor program. Second year would be the certificate regarding to the advanced diploma. So third year would be carrying out the bachelor degree, and the fourth year will be bachelor degree with the research. Like this has been carried out, would be carrying on with the education policy. right? So this is the part. Next, this new policy actually bring out the new changes in the employment and the education scenario, because as we are participating in different kind of like inclusive process where differentiate kind of thing, like a 5 plus 3 3 plus 3 plus 4, because we are emphasizing on the education process, and this education process is reflecting back as an employment, because jitna skills बढ़ेंगे उतना employment generate होगा, right? So that is the most important thing, because education is the background, education is the backbone, education is the framework for the employment, right? And set to get a new education policy after 34 years. Like 34 years के बाद new education policy जो है, this is the most important stuff of this one. So single regulator for all higher education institution, and the MPhil will be discontinued. MPhil को discontinuation में रखा गया है, right? And the single regulator will be there for the higher education institution. बहुत सारे regulatory bodies होने से क्या होता है, all of the regulations, the guidelines clashes to each other, what to follow and what not to follow हो जाता है. Like these higher education institutes, rather focusing on the education process or the knowledge process, they are carrying out with the guidelines of this one, and lots of guidelines creates the mess and all of the things. Now the single regulator will be there with the higher education institution, right? For digital learning process, the National Education Technology Forum would be created. National Education Technology digital education को promote करने के लिए, to promote digital learning systems or digital education, right? National Education Technology Forum will be created, and that will ensure different kinds of challenges what we will be facing down during the digital education, right? It will ensure digital divide, because we are in the nation where different digital divides are there, digital illiteracies are there, digital penetration उतना नहीं है. वो सबको इंश्योर करने के लिए नेशनल एजुकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी फोरम विल बी क्रिएटेड, एंड दीज ऑल ऑफ द चैलेंजेस विल बी फेस्ड बाय नेशनल एजुकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी फोरम, एंड द हाउ टू गिव like what are the solutions to be carried out to face those challenges would be carried out by this forum. Okay, next, e-courses will be developed in 8 languages, regional languages. E-courses जो होगा different 8 regional languages में develop किया जाएगा, and virtual lab will be developed. Like e-courses will be there in the different 8 different languages would be there, so that more inclusive process would be there. The education will not be like bounded with one language itself. The education would be versatile. The education versatility should be maintained, and different kinds of language. If different kinds of language होने से ये फायदा है कि inclusion होगा, बहुत सारे inclusion होंगे, लोग ज़्यादा सीखेंगे, like this one. Major reforms in the higher education, like 50% gross enrollment ratio by 2035, 50% का enrollment ratio maintain किया जाएगा. Holistic and multidisciplinary education, like flexibility in the subjects and all, like the students will be carrying lots of freedom and all, right? Duration of the program of the UG and PG courses, integrated courses are different. Like मैंने बोला कि फर्स्ट ईयर में सर्टिफिकेट, सेकेंड ईयर में डिप्लोमा, एडवांस डिप्लोमा, थर्ड ईयर में बैचलर, फोर्थ ईयर में बैचलर प्लस रिसर्च, like this. Duration of the program has been carried out with the different kinds of stuff. So research intensive, teaching intensive universities will be there. रिसर्च के ऊपर ज्यादा फोकस किया जाएगा. Like research and development would be focused, and this research and development will be helping us out in the education process, because research will be helping to giving backup to the knowledge, and that knowledge will be giving backup to the research, and research and knowledge will be mixing together to create a very different kinds of innovative process, innovative things, and वो फिर different kinds of हम लोग का like advancement of the knowledge can be carried out in that part. Right, modern disciplinary education and the research university will be there. Multidisciplinary university will be there, where in one university there would be multiple disciplines will be there, multiple subjects will be there, where we can get the learnings from the different platforms, right? Top 100 foreign colleges will be allowed set up campuses in India. I've already told you. NEP, National Education Policy to follow 3 languages, and like Sanskrit to be mainstreamed, right? Reintroduction of the 4-year UG program, जैसे कि मैंने बोला. Liberal arts science education, there will not be hard separation between this arts and science and all, right? Multiple exit options होंगे, जैसे कि मैंने बोला है 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years वाला प्रोग्राम होंगे. Pursuing PhD either with the master or bachelor degree with research. PhD pursue करने के लिए या तो मास्टर्स के थ्रू PhD करेंगे या तो बैचलर्स डिग्री विद द रिसर्च भी करने से PhD हो पाएगा, right? By 2031, large disciplinary college in every district. One large disciplinary college will be there in every district. Okay, so ये college में multiple disciplinary subjects होंगे. So these subjects will be helping us out. Like these subjects will be helping us out for different kinds of colleges will be helping us out in different kinds of subjects, right? Guys, 2 minutes please. Then is multiple exit options in the degrees, like जैसे मैंने बोला 1 year, 2 years, 3 years वाला चीज, right? Higher education institutes divided into further categories. Research intensive universities will be there. Research intensive universities will be carrying out with that one, right? मतलब research based किया जाएगा ज़्यादा. Basically we'll be focusing more into the research, right? So school education universalization matlab it's compulsory education for class 3 to class 10, from age 3 to class 10, matlab age 3 to age class 10 tak, not class 3, sorry, age 3 to class 10 tak it's a compulsory education. By 2030 tak universalization of the education would be carrying out. Mission to ensure literacy and the numeracy skills, जैसे कि मैंने बोला कि लिटरेसी, बेसिक लिटरेसी और द बेसिक एजुकेशन टू बी फॉलोड विद द न्यूमरेसी, बेसिक न्यूमरेसी knowledge will be carrying out, so that the people will be having a basic knowledge with the basic education to be there, right? Next is mother tongue medium of instruction till class 5. Till class 5 the mother tongue instruction will be there. Mother tongue languages to be followed. Coding and vocational integration from class 6. Class 6 से coding को start किया जाएगा, because these all of the things are being carried out with the digital. हम लोग अभी जो कर रहे हैं वो digitally है. So if the policies should be more towards the digital, because in this pandemic the digital education has played a very important and the crucial role giving the education system, or not, the education system has not been stopped in this pandemic. So digital education is very important, and digital education को करने के लिए हम लोग को बेसिक नॉलेज भी होना चाहिए. सो दैट इज व्हाट कॉल द कोडिंग एंड द वोकेशनल इंटीग्रेशन विल बी कैरिंग आउट फ्रॉम द क्लास 6. द पीपल विल बी लर्निंग आउट द थिंग्स फ्रॉम द क्लास 6 itself. Next, board exam to be easier and redesigned. The board exams will be focusing more into the core competencies or core subjects or core essentials, right? And it will be easier and redefined also, and will be redesigned. Learning plan, public spending on education by states and the center will be 6% of the GDP. जैसे कि मैंने बोला कि इन्वेस्टमेंट का जरूरत है एजुकेशन में. विदाउट कैरिंग आउट द इन्वेस्टमेंट we can't achieve those targets of the education policy. So the states and the center will be investing on the education will be 6% of the GDP. Ministry of HRD will be transferred to the will be renamed as the Ministry of Education. Okay, जो HRD ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट जो मिनिस्ट्री है, दैट विल बी रीनेम्ड एज द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन. ओके, सो सेपरेट टेक्नोलॉजी यूनिट टू बी डेवलप्ड डिजिटल एजुकेशन रिसोर्सेज, लाइक जैसे कि हम लोग ने बोला कि नेशनल एजुकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी फोरम विल बी देयर टू address the challenge what we'll be facing in the digital education, like digital divide, digital penetration, digital illiteracy. So special technology unit will be will be developed under this national education policy to help them to foster digital education in this country, and that will digital infrastructure to be developed, digital content to be developed in this special technological unit. right? Digital drive would be there, integration of the technology to improve classroom process, मतलब technology का utilization of the digital things for improving the classroom programs, right? Teacher education by 2030, teacher का education by 2030 minimum qualification होना चाहिए BEd, means Bachelor of Education. Financial support the meritorious students belonging to the ST, SC, OBC and SCBC, especially socially, economically and backward classes, and the economically backward classes will be getting incentives from the private institution to offer the scholarships. They would be having different kinds of scholarships, like those who are economically backward, those who are socially backward and all, they would be carrying out, they would be supported by the incentives or the scholarship programs by the different educational institutions, rather it is like private institutions or the government institutions. So professional education, technical, health science, legal and agriculture will be aimed to multidisciplinary in the situations like professional education. The focus on the professional education will be carrying out, like agriculture education will be carrying out agriculture technology को focus किया जाएगा, जैसे कि अभी focus किया जा रहा है, because agriculture is a booming sector. Technological sector will be carrying out pharmaceuticals, health science, health infrastructures, the technicals, legals. These all of the professional education will be carrying out, will be focusing on the professional education also, right? So this is the entire part. हम लोग 45 minutes का ये analysis के you can also थोड़ा जल्दी से मतलब cover up किए, आप slow करके भी देख सकते हो. Almost we have covered all of the things in the national education policy. क्या क्या है, what is the features, what are the salient features are there, what are the factors involved in the national education policy, क्या क्या चीजें को changes किया गया, what are the reforms has been carried out, how the digitalizations things has been carried out, socially हम लोग क्या क्या लाए हैं. These all of the things has been covered in this analysis. So please please have the patience to watch this video to know the National Education Policy 2020 in a very complete manner. Once again, I am repeating, the most important question in this National Education Policy is who has been the chairperson, that is K. Kasturi Ranjan. Who is a ISRO scientist. Okay, he is the chairman. Former chief of the ISRO, that is K. Kasturi Ranjan. Committee ने ये entire policy को develop किया है in 2019, and how it has been evolved from 1968 to 1986 to the 2020. Like 2020, this all of the things we have covered. I hope this session is very important and fruitful to you, and you have got lots of things about the National Education Policy 2020. I hope these entire 50 minutes of these discussion or the analysis will be helping you out to get the more knowledge about the National Education Policy 2020 and New Education Policy 2020, and that will be helpful for you in the near future. Thank you so much. This is RRB signing off.